Okay, so moving on to the Palomar knot. The Palomar knot is a little different than the other knots. It's instead of taking the tag line and putting it through the eye of the hook, you want to take a loop and put the loop through the eye of your hook. However, to double up your line and make a loop in your line and then stuff that through the eye of your hook, man, it's quite challenging, especially when you're using smaller hooks and smaller eyes in the hooks and thicker line. It's almost impossible to do that, and it can be frustrating. So step by step, what we're going to do is show you how to get that loop in your line much easier. And it's very simple. You're going to feed about 10 to 12 inches of line. This is step one. 10 or 12 inches of line through the eye of your hook, and that's what you're going to do, right? And then you're going to take your tag line and feed it back through the eye of the hook, doubling up the line on your hook and doubling up the line that your hook is hanging from. And it actually puts the loop, yeah, it's actually like putting the loop through the eye of your hook, but just without all the struggle. So you're going to take, you know, you put it through the eye of the hook already. So you're going to take it and put it back through again and doubling up the line, like the step says, doubling up the line that your hook is hanging from. Bam. And I mean, that's really the hardest part, is just getting that loop through the eye of the hook. With your hook hanging in the middle of the doubled up line, you're going to tie a basic overhand knot with the looped end of your line. So this is the loop end of the line right here. You're going to tie a basic overhand knot with the loop end of your line around the hook. So like this, tie an overhand knot. So take the loop end and oops, don't do that. Like I said, you want a lot of line to do this. So take the loop end and right like this, basic overhand knot like that. Now this loop, the reason why you want a lot of line is because this loop you're going to put underneath the hook or the lure or the bait or whatever you're using. You're gonna put it underneath and around. Okay, so let me go backwards like that. So take it back, bang. So take the loop end, have your hook hanging, make sure you have a good amount of line, tie basic overhand knot, right? Now take the loop and, oh shoot, don't pull too tight. Take the loop, put the loop underneath the hook, and then you're just going to so take the loop and put it underneath the hook. Again, don't pull too tight. Before tightening the knot, take the loop and pull it over and under the bend of the hook. We just did that. Wet the knot part, and as you pull the tag line and main line, make sure that the loop and knot go over the entire hook and tightens up at the eye of the hook. So sometimes when you put the loop in, it's going to tighten up underneath here. Underneath here and on other hooks, it might tighten up. So you want the whole knot to tighten like above the eye of the hook. So exactly how this is looking right now. See how this, and you just pull and you keep pulling, and you can pull the tag line. Obviously when you use the saliva, this pulls a lot easier and it's not so yeah, resistant and difficult. But if you have space in this knot here, you just want to pull it tight, work it in, push down with your fingers and your thumb, and just make sure that knot is nice and tight. Again, this is a little different because I'm using like string and I'm not using fishing line, but now you can see that knot is looking a little better. Yeah, and that's what you're gonna have to do with your knot sometimes, is just with your thumb and your finger push it down while pulling tight on the main line and pulling on the hook, and just push with your thumb, push it down, You'll move it around, get it nice and tight, and then you have a nice Palomar knot. Make sure everything is nice and tight, and cut off the extra tag line as close to the knot as possible, and add your super glue if you want. So yeah, now your tag end is right here. So you're gonna cut your tag end off right as close to the knot as possible. Focus. You're gonna cut it off right here because that's the tag end, as close to the knot as possible. And there you go. That's the Palomar knot.